Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today we're doing a little bit something a little bit different. We're going to go through a pre-drywall walk, and for any of you out there purchasing a brand new home, this is a required step throughout the building process to make sure that the builder is doing a good job at building your house. And I'm going to go inside and take a look at what this house has, what you should look out for when you're building a home, so that you're prepared when this step comes up to for you as you're building it. So this specific home, it's a client's home, and I just did the walk with the superintendent. Superintendent does not want to be in video, so I didn't do the video with him. However, I can go through it. I can explain everything that we do in here. The pre-drywall walk, first of all, what is it? What is it? It's a walk before the drywall inside the house goes up, because as you can see in this house, it has all the insulation installed on the outside. It has the chicken grill. They still have to they have to do the sprayed stucco on top of it, you know, the concrete stucco right there. That's going to be the next step, and then they have to do the insulation inside. But right now, at this step throughout the building process is when you can see everything inside the house. As a matter of fact, all the walls are open, so you can see all the electrical, plumbing, irrigation system, sprinkler system, anything inside the walls, you can see it. Now, this specific house is about 3,000 square feet. We have a 2-story with 5 bedrooms, and we have a 3-car garage tandem over here. And you can see all the electrical is exposed. So what you can check out here already, this is a really good builder, because you can see all the electrical lines are all wrapped up. They're all nice and secured throughout the way. You can see all the areas are all spray foamed right now. That is for fire, to delay fires in case there is a fire, because what happens is that that space in between the walls is where the air would come in or come out of, and then that way, when you have a fire, it feeds oxygen into the fire, which makes the fire go grow faster, versus having this all closed off is what happens. And it makes it better for fire resistance, but also for insulation. It doesn't allow air to go in and out from these walls. And you can see all throughout all the exterior walls, that is all applied. They did a really good job with that. And then you're also going to see some things such as this specific builder. What you want to do is you want to double check if everything is there. You can see right there we have an extra electrical outlet. This is going to be a 220. You can tell from the size of the wires. That's because this is where the tankless water heater is going to be. This specific builder, which I can't say the name actually, just in case. But they're a great builder, and there's really nothing to hide here. But what they do is they make an energy efficient home, and then what they're doing is they're putting electrical items like the water heater, so that in the future the owner can go into solar and make it a net zero house. Also here, the owner decided to go for a central vacuum, which is going to be, some of you guys might know it, but for those of you who don't, it's pretty much a vacuum inside the garage here. And this is where it pulls all the air into, and then you clean out the unit from here. But then throughout the house, you're going to see this PVC pipe that goes and has outlets throughout the whole house, such as this one right here. And then you'll have an outlet down there where you just tap on the outlet, you connect, and then you can vacuum the house, so you don't have to bring a vacuum around for you. But those are the options you want to check. You want to make sure all the options in your house are in right now, because changing out anything throughout the building process might be a little bit of a problem if you have already the drywall up. When you break drywall, it is very difficult to make it look again like it was the first time that you purchased the house. So yeah, check everything. All the work is right. Here is where I usually recommend an inspection. Some builders, including this one, do not allow you to do an inspection before the house is finished. So that's one of the things that you have to keep in consideration. However, you can see in here, okay, do we have all the electrical wire? You can see the 3 pre-wires here for your kitchen island. So you can see, you have that electrical in here. All the extra upgrades that you did in the house, make sure that they are there. And right here is where the stove goes. You can see the gas line, everything looks good. And then this is where they added a 220 as well for your oven, which is gonna be built in. This one is, we haven't passed the inspection yet, but you can see this stud is kind of crooked. I don't think that really poses an issue. But that's something I haven't mentioned to him, so I'll probably go back and mention it to him because it does look a little bit weird. But again, I don't think it's going to be an issue. Maybe they just have to add an extra stud just in case for safety. Also, one more thing you want to check when you're doing a pre-drywall, very, very, very important, is if the house floor has any high spots. For example, in here, you can tell that the builder has already gone in and shaved down some high spots. So the reason why this is important is when you install the flooring, if this flooring is not level, you're gonna have bumps, and then you walk on the floor, you step on the luxury vinyl plank, and you see it cave in wherever you step, and it feels uneven. It starts clicking. It makes that kind of noise. Some builders will not even fix that because they say it's within the tolerance, which is 1/8 of an inch over 8 feet, and yet they still manage to not do it. So bummer there, but that does happen. So you have to make sure you do know what you're doing when you're building these homes. As from my inspection right now, what I see, I don't see any issues at all for that. But yeah, again, this is a really good builder that built this house. I really trust him, especially the superintendent here and what he does. We do have your gas line here going out to the outside, so it's going to have a barbecue stub. And then here is another view of that central vacuum. You see there's going to be outlets throughout. And then what you're going to do is you connect to this one and it just turns on, and then you can vacuum the whole place. Not really used anymore. When I saw it, I was surprised that the builder even offered an option for this. But they do a lot of custom work for clients, so that's why. Another thing to watch is for your AC ducts, because this is the only time that you can watch them. And I've been through this house now for the past 1 hour, and I've been looking at them. I haven't seen any major issues. But sometimes what you do see is that these HVAC ducts, they get bent over, squeezed like in between the studs, and sometimes they can't really do much about it, like if they have some kind of plumbing like that. But that is not bad. As a matter of fact, what you have to watch out for is when you have something that is really restricting the airflow, and then what's going to happen is if you don't pay attention to that and you build the house and then you walk in and there's not enough air coming out of one of the vents, you probably will never notice. Even if the inspector goes in and checks out the temperature and everything, the temperature might be coming out pretty cold, but if you don't have enough flow into the vent, coming out from the register, you might have an issue. So those are the little things that you have to watch out for right now that you have access. You have visual access to the house, and you can see all these little things. Obviously, any little minor things that might happen. One common thing that we have an issue with, and I haven't had this issue with Woodside so far, that would be these studs right here. Usually, you see, actually, this one kind of moves a little bit. You see that? That's because the builders never secure these the way they're supposed to secure it to the concrete, which is with glue and then stapling them, nailing them down into the concrete. Now, what happens is, let's say you have a door here, you close it every time. Over time, that wiggle, it's not ideal. Now, this one wasn't excessive. It was very small, but I would definitely add an extra nail there to nail it down. But you do have some places, I'm not sure, I'm gonna see if I can find one. This one is good. But throughout the house, especially whenever you have wood over concrete, you have those issues with some builders. Some builders are really bad at that. I'm not gonna make any names, but they have, I do a lot of these homes, so I see them every day, and they never nail them down. We're talking about these walls really moving like half an inch when you move them. Very, very important to double check on that as well. As we go into this room downstairs, we'll see, obviously we want to check the electrical, that all the upgrades were done, such as the pre-wire ceiling fan, and your HVAC ducts looks good. The flooring looks pretty level. It does need a little bit of work here, but I believe, I'm not sure if they have tile in here. If they do have tile, this is not a problem. But when it comes to installing the flooring, like the luxury vinyl plank, these little ridges, having an uneven surface is not ideal. So that's something we want to double check. I'm going to mark it right now for the builder to double check it. Fix the open here, it says on the floor. Maybe they had an issue, but it looks like it's been resolved. Although you can see this stud right here, it's kind of bent over. So maybe that is the reason why. So just pay attention to these little things as the buyer. You want to double check that they're doing a good job. As far as your bathroom downstairs, this will be the last room we're going to check out before we go upstairs. You can see here, in this case, we're going to have a tile surround going on the walls. And obviously they haven't gotten to that yet because it's not necessary. It's on the inside of the house. But you have your tub. And what they do here is they fill it up with water to check if there are any leaks in the tub. And if it stays, the level stays up, that means the tub doesn't have any leaks and we're good to go. Then I know it looks dirty, it doesn't look sanitary or whatever, but the thing is, before we close on the house, they're gonna come in, they're gonna do a deep cleaning, and they'll also not sand it down, but they're like wax the fiberglass. So it's nothing to be worried about. Another thing about this builder, they do, well, in some places they build with the 2x6, which will give you more insulation. But this builder, no, doesn't. Some builders do, however. They do all the exterior walls with 2x6s. This specific rail right here is temporary. This is going to be gone. So the way I know is because these are temporary. You can see they put them in just for the builder to have a safety environment so people are not falling off. But eventually it's going to be removed. One thing to watch out for is those 4 bolts when they put them in. Sometimes, worker is bringing something up, something heavy, they push it over, it breaks that bottom thing, and then you don't realize it until you step onto this thing. Like for example here, there's a chip that needs to be fixed before they put up the carpet. But yeah, those are the little things to watch out for. And as we're going up on the second floor, another thing you want to watch out for is also having an even second floor. Like the subfloor has to be really nice and smooth, especially if you plan on redoing your own flooring after putting in a luxury vinyl plank. What happens is the builders, they install the carpet and they do a really bad job at leveling the subfloor because the carpet allows you for a lot of more margin of error, which is not good for you. And then you have to come in and fix everything after. As we walk up, we'll go over here where we have a nice loft. Let's go over to the bedroom first. Very spacious rooms in this house. Pre-wires there. This will be your sprinkler system. Anything in orange is the sprinkler system. There's not much to look for on that one. The reason why is because it's the city that installs that, sends somebody out to install that irrigation system. Sorry, the sprinkler system. One more thing is you're going to notice these plates throughout the house. What happens is when you don't have about 1.5 inches distance from where the drywall is going to be installed, which is going to be against this stud right here. What happens is because we have 1 inch only here, they have to put a plate on all the places where this pipe comes out of. And this is what you want to watch out for also when you're doing a pre-drywall walk. Record all these areas where they have the plumbing inside so that when you go ahead and try to hang some pictures or whatever you're going to do, maybe install something heavy on the walls, you have to go through the studs. You make sure you're not drilling into electrical wires or plumbing that will cause you a leak later on in the future. Trust me, it has happened several times to many people, and that's the reason why they use these plates that go in front of those areas. But sometimes the builders, they don't install them, so you want to verify that all these spots have the plates in front of it so that when you try to put in a nail or something, it's gonna hit the the plate and it's not going to allow you to go through, so you save your pipe. All right. One thing about this builder is they do a really good insulation. So insulation is going to go against the roof line. All your attic is going to be insulated. Sometimes I would recommend to get a builder that has a reflective chrome sheet on it, which is called I forgot the name of it, but those panels right there on the roof are going to have this reflective sheet that is going to pretty much bounce back the sun, the heat, and bounce it back out. It does help with the energy efficiency, but in this case, because this builder does have a spray foam insulation against the roof line, that allows you to have a way better insulation anyway. One more thing, and this is what I brought up to the builder for this client, is you see those lines right there? Those are your AC lines. I've had this issue before in one of my houses where you see that coil line next to it. It's that bronze copper line. If that one is touching this plate, which again is put in here so that it protects the AC units, coil lines. So these lines go down onto the AC condensers on the outside, right? So since this house has 2 AC condensers, you're gonna have 2 of these lines. But here, you see this one? This one is kind of touching the plate right there, this copper line. What it does, this one kind of vibrates whenever the Freon goes through it. And then what happens is that vibration against that metal plate is gonna create a vibration inside the house, like on your drywall, or even noise, as a matter of fact. So that's something that you want to correct right now, that you can see it, because getting there later on is going to be almost impossible. They can't get through the roof lines because of the insulation in here. Sorry. Whoop, what happened here? Sorry about that. Can't get into the roof lines because of the insulation over there. So you're going to have to open up the drywall right here, and something that you could be avoided easily. So these are what you should be looking for. There are like 1,000 more things that right now don't come to mind as I'm walking through with you. Some things are coming up. But this is the scope of a pre-drywall inspection. Just double check. It makes the life easier for the builders. That's why the builders want to do these inspections. And it also makes your life easier as a buyer, because you're not, you're just avoiding issues that are going to come up later on. 2 sinks, your toilet, your tub, same thing. It's filled up with water. And then here we're going to have a tile surround on it. Over here we have your primary bedroom. We do have a lot of upgrades, like little electrical upgrades in this house, like that wire for a coax cable, same as that one over there. On your wall for your TV. And then we have a drop-in tub here with your walk-in shower. 2 sinks. And beautiful. This is gonna look really good once it's finished. Again, your central vacuum system. I think it's a really cool feature to have that central vacuum system. All the outside of the house is going to have that tar paper right there. That's going to protect from infiltration from water going into the house. And it pretty much, what it happens is, it is waterproof. So, well, not waterproof, it's water resistant. So whenever the water goes onto the paper from the outside, it'll drip down, and then it has an exit place from the bottom of the house. All right, really nice setup in this house. There are a few upgrades I forgot to mention. I want to show my clients, so I'm going to go down there and show them to them, which is this sound system that was installed by the builder. So you have your 1 and 2 outlets. Those are going to be 2 speakers inside the house. And then you're going to have this wire right here for a subwoofer. Another one over there. on this side. And then last but not least, all your cables for the sound system are gonna come in back behind there. It's about 2 feet above the floor. So it was a special request from the buyer, and then 7 feet away from that wall. But yeah, as far as the backyard, not much to say about this one. The outside, it looks pretty good. Not much to worry about. And then we're gonna have here, big backyard, by the way. With this specific house, this floor plan does offer a really spacious backyard, so you can put in a nice pool. But yeah, that's what you do for your pre-drywall walks. Now, one thing to consider, I am not a licensed inspector or anything, so I'm sure there's gonna be someone out there, oh, you missed this or you missed that, or you shouldn't be doing this. This is not something I'm doing personally. I always suggest my clients, if they can, to do a pre-drywall inspection with a third party. However, as a realtor, it is my duty to double check as I'm going through it, even though I can't guarantee that I'm gonna catch everything. I've been through hundreds and hundreds of homes in this state, and I see these issues. I've seen home inspections from third-party inspectors, and I've learned a lot from them, from just looking at this, looking at the home inspections and looking at these homes as I've been through it so many times. After you've been through it so many times, you learn it. If you make a cake 100 times, you gotta learn how to make a cake. You know what I mean? So, if you watch someone, make a cake 100 times, you're probably gonna know how to make it yourself. That's the point. And that doesn't mean that I'm an inspector. I'm not licensed to be an inspector, but if I am, I'm here and I'm checking out, I'm doing this for my client, which is from out of town. I'm gonna double check everything is done correctly. So that's what it is. Another thing that I just saw right now, I'm gonna bring it up to the builder as well. Look at that stud right there. It is way crooked. I don't know what they were thinking there. I'm thinking because of those water lines. I don't know, but maybe it's just the frame that is wrong. And then when they did, which is probably the case, but that is way too much of a bend. I'm definitely going to bring it up to them. Maybe they already know about it. They're going to fix it, but that's another thing. So it was this one, and then this other stud right here downstairs. So I'm going to take a picture as soon as we finish, send it over to them so they can fix it. Those are the major things to worry about. And that's going to be it. Sometimes these builders, the city has an inspector, does a frame inspection, like a structural inspection they do from an engineer that comes from the city. But I don't know why most of the time they miss all these issues. So that's why you want to do your own frame walk yourself. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you staying until the end. Hit the like button if you like videos like these, if you found some value out of it. But this is pretty much what you should expect from doing a pre-drywall walk or a frame walk, whatever they want to call it. And hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys on the next video.